Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Alpaca and Albatross final project presentations. All of these students are wonderful students that have been working really hard the past 17 weeks. So we're really excited to be able to have our final project presentations tonight and to combine the classes so that way React students can see what the Node students built for their finals and Node students can see what the React students built for their finals. So it's a really fun first time around of combining classes for final project presentations. I hope everybody has a good experience and enjoys. Everybody that's presenting tonight, just take a deep breath. It's going to be fine. It'll go very quickly. No need to be nervous. It's just a fun time to be able to show off all your hard work. All right. So without any further ado, our first presenter is going to be George. George, whenever you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Appreciate that. Thank you. How's everyone doing today? I'm George. I'm in the React Albatross class, and this is a React project that I've been working on. Do you guys see my website?
Yep, coming through just fine.
So I have a link to my resumes, project section, skills, and where to contact me. Also take me to my to-do list. On my to-do list, I am able to add a to-do. Able to add that. I'm also able to delete. Sorry, I'm also able to delete. I also have two buttons. The first button is going to be completed, and the next button is going to be edit. Haven't got to those yet, but I do plan on completing them in the future. Just to show you responsiveness. It's going to be the mobile view. It's going to be the tablet view and the desktop view. And that was about it. I want to say my biggest challenges was using Fetch API, actually like converting the code to work with the Airtable. And I want to say use effects also took me some time to get used to and like actually get the understanding of what it does. But aside from that, I had a great time learning about React. Appreciate you for giving me this time to present.
Awesome. That's great. Thanks, George. What was your favorite part of the project and what was your biggest struggle? Was the use effect the hardest one for you?
Oh, I think it would be the Fetch API.
Mhm.
It took me a while to get the understanding, but once I had the code and a little bit of research, I kind of understood what was going on, especially like converting them. So it's like once we built the app, everything was working, but then it's like, okay, now we're fetching, so we have to convert that. So it was a little bit of I had a little bit of issue. I had, got with some mentors and they were able to help me out. I want to say I love CSS. I love working with CSS. Um, so I guess it's just the CSS portion and actually seeing it like come together.
Yeah, it's always nice to be able to see how like clean and polished and things look when you're finally done with it because it can be an uphill battle sometimes, especially with particular parts of it.
Uh,
Very well done. Anybody have any questions or comments they'd like to share with George? You do have some good jobs in the chat, so be sure to check the chat after you're done presenting, both for George and for all of our presenters tonight. You always get to look back at all of the accolades. All right. Well, thanks again, George, for presenting. Our next presenter tonight is going to be Miss Amy Sandoval. So, Amy, whenever you're set, feel free to take over.
Hi everyone. Let me share my screen here. Alrighty, I think I'm sharing, right?
Yes, yeah, we can see it.
Okay. Here's my like home page section. If I scroll, I prefer how it looks on mobile because I kind of started from mobile and went out from there. But so here it is on mobile. I was gonna do like my About Me on a separate page, but then this home page was looking kind of empty without it. So I combined my home with my About Me, and I have like a little bit of a footer going on at the bottom with my GitHub and LinkedIn. Here's what my to-do list looks like on mobile. And let me go back to desktop. Here's my to-do list. I can add a to-do, refresh, and it will sort A through Z. And I can delete a to-do. And when I refresh, it's gone, it's disappeared because it's an Airtable. Yeah. And here's my homepage again. One of the biggest challenges for me was actually in the last few days when I was trying to deploy it. I was having difficulties with browser router. It wasn't working with GitHub pages, and it was giving me so much trouble. And then today I finally used hash router, and that's so there's that little hash right there. But it works now. It's it's working. You can click between the sections, and for me, the most fun part is just like doing the CSS. As you saw on my to-do list, I do intend to also add a check mark and an edit button. And I can cross this out since I'm done. And yeah, I'm looking forward to practicum. So let me know what are questions. All right, let me. I'm done
Awesome. Good
sharing.
job, Amy. Thanks for sharing. Dave, I have any questions or comments they'd like to share?
I'm reading the comments. Thank you,
Awesome.
everyone.
Good
Hey,
stuff.
Amy,
Yeah.
is your background a picture or just CSS?
Every background I used was a photo. I
Oh,
found it on unsplash.com, and I found one artist that was doing a lot of similar images. So all of the background photos are from the same artist, and that's why it was it was a little bit easier to kind of keep with the theme when you use the same artist for all your photos.
yeah, nice color coordination there.
All right. Any other questions or comments out there? Okay, great job, Amy. Thanks for sharing. Our next presenter tonight is going to be Xenia. Nur, you're after Xenia, just to give you a heads up for who's coming up next. Whenever you're set, Xenia, go ahead and share.
Hi, everyone. So I'll go ahead and show you mobile version first. Here's my app. I have 4 separate lists. And then I will show you iPad version. For CSS styling, I used Flexbox. I found it really easy process to collapse things. And finally, I will show you desktop version. So here is my logo, and also I will show you all functionality on home list, and a user can add, update, and delete records. And as you see, for example, I clean, and it appears on Airtable, as you see, and after I clean, I can cross it out. And in addition, I can update it here. And it updates on Airtable also. And after I add some bunch of records, I can sort them and make them scanned in the scanned in order. Also, I prevent user to add empty spaces. Yeah, and I can delete them. So I have these 3 lists also, and they have the same functionalities. And what else? Yeah, I think I demonstrate all things that I wanted to. And most challenging things for me was actually talking with Airtable for sure. And it took me so long to understand. And yeah, I enjoyed debugging things and hunting those small pieces that preventing my app from working. So yeah, and enjoying mentoring sessions. So each week learning something new and important skills from those professionals. Yeah, thank you, Code Dream. If you have any questions, I can answer them.
Awesome. Good job. Thanks, Ian. Thank you for sharing. Did anybody have any questions or comments they wanted to share? Again, there are comments in the chat, so be sure to check those out after you're done presenting. Yeah, I did like that little toggle slide button. Was that done entirely with CSS, or was that like from an image library or something?
No, it's pure CSS. I used some here, this website from Into True Programming. So
Oh, cool.
I found it, yeah, inspiring for me.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's some next level CSS skills. That's great.
Yeah.
Good job. Any other questions or comments out there at all? Okay, thanks for presenting, Xenia. Good job. And our next presenter is going to be Nur. After Nur, it'll be Eric, just to give you a heads up for who's up next. So Nur, whenever you're set, feel free to unmute and share, and I'll take a look at what you built.
Okay. Share. Yes. No. Sorry. Oh. I share or no? No Zoom.
Yes, yeah, we can see your screen just fine.
Oh, sorry. Let's look. Okay.
I know they always have so many options, like, do you want to share one screen, one tab, one window, 2 screens, all windows?
Yeah.
It's overwhelming to screen share.
You can see my screen.
Yes, yeah, we can see it just fine.
Yes.
To-do list application.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Hey everyone, I am Nur. This is my to-do list application. These items here in my Airtable too. Actually, I added something new here and edit. Also, it added my Airtable too. If I remove the item, it's removed to my Airtable too, because I sent a delete request with fetch Airtable, which fetch API. Also, if I add here, it added Airtable because I sent a post request with fetch API. Also, I use a feature here, title. When I click the title and arrows, its sort order changes. I use here handle direction method. Also, my screen is responsive. You see my screen. And what else? I created this project, Create React App. With Create React App first, I used fetch. I started fetch API with Airtable. Actually, I set the to-do list with records. Also, I use method add to-do methods here with my dear mentor Roy. Actually, it is my challenges here, barrier I don't understand, and he talked about talk again to again. I appreciate him. Also, I used here delete method. I said also for send Airtable and post methods here. Yeah, my project is done.
Awesome. Good job, Nur. What was your favorite part and what was the hardest part for you?
My hardest part for me, I don't like the testing subject. I am not a tester actually. It is so confused for me. My favorite part, I like to fetch and use effects and the other method. I like the actually front-end developer. I can be, yes, I decided front-end developer for me or UX design. It is good for me. Back end, back end front, back end not for me. It's so confused actually for me. And
I feel you there. I'm in the same boat myself personally.
yes.
Yeah.
And also I want to say thank you for every mentor section I attended, also all of everybody is so good, helpful and kindful and respectful. I love the code team, and Mary, thank you so much. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been very lucky to have a lot of really great mentors with our classes. So yeah, we appreciate them as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Did anybody have any questions or comments they'd like to share with Nur?
Yeah, I would like to appreciate Nuria for her the arrow thing toggle that goes up and down. That's kind of very complex, very cool. I like it. Thank you so much for that. I know it's going to be difficult to have that functional. Awesome.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you so much, Mom. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Any other questions or anything out there? Okay, thanks for sharing with us, Nur. Good job. And our next presenter is Eric. After Eric, it's going to be Danielle, just so that way we know who's next up in line. Eric, whenever you're ready, feel free to screen share and be sure that you're off of mute. We can see things. And there we go. Now we can hear you. Yep, we can see and we can hear.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So this is what's under the hood for my app. I have a separate component there for folder for components. And then I have my CSS. And I was also messing up with some images. So it's only 2 images that you will see on the app. It's still under construction because I realized last minute sprucing up messes it. So with the band-aids and tapes that on it for now, that's gonna work. So going to the app, can you see the app?
Yes, we can see it.
Can you see the app?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. I'll say at this moment, it's just meant for mobile phones, and it can go up to that particular size. So I've not decided for a desktop, which is still a pending task for me. So for the to-do, I can add to-do. So it's gonna populate. There's something that I noticed at the last minute is it's not clear in that field. I don't know what happened to my set to-do list. so that it empties that field on submit. So I need to look at that. And then it also goes to the air table. So sorting is not according to the air table that's been yeah, for the sorting part, did I lose my sorting part? Also, it's in the grid view. Yeah. That's all about my app. It's still under work, so of course you can delete your to do, and that QR code there, that's a dummy. It's not working. Just play with it, and then the icon for the notepad just to help identify it as a to-do list. That's all. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, Eric. What was your favorite part and what was the hardest part for you?
Favorite part, of course, is your app coming to life. And the most challenging part is getting to that particular, juncture. I'm still battling with the CSS, trying to be friends with it.
It's a love-hate
And
relationship with CSS a lot of times. That's understandable. But what you
yeah,
got so far is looking good. So I think you're winning the battle with it so far.
and also I'm trying to just get to find my rhythm when it comes to creating an app. Like, I need to work out how I can have a flow process for, constructing different parts of an app, because when we're constructing, or when I'm constructing an app or coding, I get lost sometimes because you want to be at the end of the app. Sometimes you go back and you get lost in the middle there. You don't know where you are. You can't find your codes, and yeah, the flow of the components, it's sometimes confusing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, awesome. Thanks for sharing with us, Eric. And Danielle, you are up next whenever you are ready. Then feel free to unmute and share. After Danielle, it'll be Mohammed Umbarak. So just to give Mohammed heads up that he'll be up next. And take it away, Danielle.
All right. Hello, everybody. Okay, there we go. So here is my MVP to-do list. And I'm going to start by just showing you how it is responsive. And then I can add an item. And we can see over on Airtable that it popped right up there. I can also remove items. And right now this is sorted by the grid view. So if I rearrange things over here in the grid, it will rearrange them on my app as well. I think the hardest thing for me was dealing with the Fetch API, because I started out using Airtable's API code, their JavaScript code instead. And when I couldn't get that to work properly, I switched over to the Fetch API, and I was missing some information that my request needed. And thank you, Ming, for helping me figure that one out yesterday. So that was the most challenging part. I still have some things that I would love to add. I loved Xenia's different sections where you can add to-dos for different areas. I think in my life that would just be very helpful for me. So I'd love to add that feature in the future. All right, I'm going to stop sharing, but let me know if you have any questions.
Awesome. Good job, Danielle. Thanks for sharing your project with us. Anybody have any questions or comments they wanted to share? Very good job on having to change from using the Airtable API to using Fetch API, like to have to relearn a structure of something in a short window of time, especially if you're like, oh, I got a good handle on the Airtable way of doing it. And it's like, oh, wait, I have to completely restructure how this goes.
Yeah,
That can be a real struggle. So good
yeah.
job on getting through that. That's not fun.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I still haven't figured out how to switch over my delete function, but right now it's working with the Airtable API, so it's going to stay that way for now.
There you go. Yeah. And as we all know in technology, there's always new versions coming out of every app every other month or every year or whatever. So there's always room for growth. Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing. Any other questions or anything out there? Okay. Our next presenter then is going to be Mohammed Mbarak, and then Rixio, you are after Mohammed.
Okay, hello. This is Mohammed. I am one of the Alpaca Node.js backend class. Okay, I'm trying to share my screen. I think I got it right. Do you see my screen?
Yep, we can see you. We can hear you. Good to go.
Great. So this is an EJS-based server rendering app. Our work mainly involves doing a lot of requests and responses from the back end, so that type of stuff. So this is the idea is that that this app is a legal app for a given law firm where clients could come online and just be able to submit inquiries regarding some immigration situations, stuff like that. So this is our landing page and this is our inquiries. So this is the page that clients should be able to click on and to see their inquiries, and hopefully if someone from the law firm is there to answer these questions, they would be able also to see those answers. So this involves a lot of authentication and user authentication. So this is the queries. As you see, the red thing says you cannot access this page before login, so you have to be user, and then so that you could see and edit these questions. So if a user has an account, they can just come here, put their username, password, and login. And if they are not, they could click on sign up and they could just sign up this way. And all of this is deployed on Heroku already. And I could share the link with you guys and everybody could access this and play with it. Okay, so in terms of functionalities, it's very simple. We could just create a new user. Let's call it Amy. Give it an account and a password. And once a user is registered, they get redirected to the login page. And with that, they could just add their email and password. Of course, if you add an email without a password, it shouldn't let you connect. It's always going to show you that there is a problem with your credentials, or if you put a password without email, same thing. You're going to have to put the accurate information that you registered. But if you have everything there, then you should be able to sign in like that. And so this is another account that It's the username is Madonna. This is an account I already had it saved. So this is where you add questions. If we use Amy, the account that we just created. Oh, what is that?
I think it might have been Amy at GAMIL.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it wrong. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, great. Like that.
I think there was an A between the G and the M. Did anybody notice and remember if that was how?
Yes,
me
it
try.
was
Okay.
like, yes.
Oh,
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so yeah,
There you go.
we got Amy with the wrong Gmail account. So this is the inquiries page. So if it's the first time when you come in, you see this. There are no inquiries to show. Please add one. So you could just come in here, click on add one, and you could select from this list. The list could be longer, and you could select whatever topic, and you could say whatever your question is or whatever you need, and you could click on add, and this gets redirected or kind of displayed on this big table. So the table has a couple of table headers, category, and question, response. Response appears so that the other person could come in and answer with an edit and delete button. Edit works. You could just come here, change the question, change your question, click on update. It will update, or if you want to delete it, you could delete it. And so thinking from the side of the firm, there is also assuming that there is an admin that will be accessing and answering these questions. So if we add an admin account, the admin should be able to see all of the inquiries that clients have been putting in the app, through the app. And if these are previous answers, but if we want to answer any of these, I am logged on now as an admin. Just come here, see the question, and add any type of answer. And that answer will be rendered for that particular question. And the admin also has the privilege to delete cases and to edit them and to do all of that. And once the admin is done, they can just disconnect. So the main goal of this is just to have these methods working, like authorization, user authentication, authorizations, and the restricted page functionality. It's very important. You can't just access user information unless you are authenticated. And yeah, the hardest part of this, I think all of it was hard, really, how to render all of these functionalities in a page that could be seen and that could make sense, I think was the hardest, especially with this AGS. I learned about it a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, this is it. I'm happy that I was able to do this. Didn't believe I could, but here we are.
Awesome. Great job, Mohammed. Thank you for sharing your project. Anybody have any questions or comments that they wanted to share? Any React students have questions about the node aspect of it all, or data structures or anything like that? All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
I have a question, Mary.
Oh yeah, go right ahead. Absolutely, Chung.
Hi, Mohammed. Great
Chung.
job. I love it. I love it.
Thanks.
Your skills improved a lot. Yeah. What's the approach to storing your token?
Yeah, so I use passport strategies. So with passport, you could just authenticate users, especially the login process, somehow magically, if that makes sense. There are functions that can handle, especially when it comes to user authentication, like the credentials and all of that. These messages and all of these could be done like easily with through passport authentication. I didn't use JWT, and yeah, no JWT at all passport, which is way easier and more dynamic.
Oh, okay. So yeah, okay. Yeah. My first question would have been, should have been, whether you use server-side rendering or front end. I forgot. Yeah. So you
Yeah,
use EJS, right?
EJS, yes. All of
Okay.
this is
Okay. All right.
rendered.
So that, yeah, it makes sense. That's why you use the Heroku for to host the whole site. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure.
Awesome. All right. Any other questions or comments out there? Okay, our next presenter is going to be Rixio, and then Mohammed Hassan Majididi is going to be our last presenter after Rixio. So Rixio, whenever you're set, feel free to unmute and share and take it away.
All right, can everybody see my screen?
Sure can.
All right, cool. So yeah, this is my to-do app. This is some of my code. I like to, oh, this isn't it, I'm sorry. Crap. Apologies, yep, this is it. All right, so there we go. So yeah, this is my to-do app. It's got normal, regular functionality as expected. Let's see. I can add things to it. I can remove those things as well. Yeah, it's responsive as well. Let's just do that. There you go. I was thinking that I wanted kind of what everybody else had, like all the buttons lined up at the end, but I didn't like that. I didn't like the way it looked. I just kind of wanted it to be different, and wanted it to be right next to the actual to-do list. That way it gives it some like the unevenness to the text, so you would know clearly what remove button belonged to what text. I just thought it was a little different, but in any case, the things that I enjoyed about them was learning about states. Very cool. Also learning about hooks. Also very cool. And how you can use that. The parts that I didn't like was props. Props was a little bit hard for me to grasp in the beginning, but after a few lessons from some of the very good mentors that we had, I was able to grasp the concept, and it was a little more clear to me. So I like doing that. Also, I like doing the CSS. I love doing CSS. I'm a front end person. I have a lot of experience with CSS. And also I like using sort of a little, just one file to do it. I didn't want to kind of use the file for each, so I just used this file and I just imported it in all of them. I just didn't, well, I mean, I imported it in whatever files I actually needed to have some CSS. I think most files I didn't, only like a couple I had to. So other than that, I still need to fix my ongoing issue where I add something and it adds, but it doesn't persist. So Roy is going to help me with that. He was going to help me tonight, but he wasn't available, so he's going to help me tomorrow. So I could actually write to the Airtable API, and that's it. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Rixio. How was it for, because I see you've got it published to Netlify. How did that process go
Oh
for you?
yeah,
Was that a fun part or a struggling part?
No, everything that I have in my, including my portfolio, it's on Netlify.
Awesome.
So it was very, and I have my own domains, and it was all very easy to set up.
Very cool.
So yeah, pretty much every one of these guys is, except for maybe this under Heroku and this guy under Heroku. I have this guy under AWS, but yeah, everything else is pretty easy. This is my 4th Code to Dream project. So yeah, I really enjoy doing it.
Awesome. That sounds
Great
great.
job. Great job. I like the personality of the
Oh,
whole
thanks.
project. It's very unique.
Thanks, appreciate that.
I especially like the coded with love at the bottom.
I am a loving guy.
There you go. Awesome. Any other questions or comments out there at all? Okay, well done, Rixia. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
All right, Mohammed Hassan, you are our last presenter tonight. Whenever you're set, feel free to take over.
Can you guys see my screen?
Sure can.
All right, guys. This is Mohammed Hassan. So my app is a little bit simple with 3 functionality, which is read, add, and also delete. So it's connected in backend, it's connected with Airtable. We can add record and also delete record and also list record. And also it's responsive as well. As you guys see, it's fully responsive. And also I used React Router as well. I didn't work on dashboard section, but I'm gonna work after this. So also the most challenging part and also the most interesting part for me was the API, especially the fetch API. I was stuck with that for a few days, but finally I did it. And also I used the for CSS for styling, I used the Bootstrap version 4 and also some custom CSS to develop the app responsive. And also I put some comments as well in my code to make it clear for other guys. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks so much for presenting. Anybody have any questions or comments they'd like to share? I really like the
Yeah, I have
logo
a
that you
comment.
built.
A logo, yeah.
Yeah.
The best logo.
Yeah, and the app, I think it's just ready for deployment. That's ready for the market. Really nice.
Very clean, yeah. Very nice.
Awesome. All right. Any other questions or comments out there at all? Okay. Thank you all for presenting tonight. We really, really appreciate all of your hard work. We, value how much effort and energy you put into your projects. Everybody did a great job tonight. Keep up the good work for anybody that's finishing up little bells and whistles and that kind of thing and tying up any loose ends. So thank you, everybody. Congratulations. Whenever you're set, Mohammed Hassan, you can go ahead and stop sharing.
Well, I'm working on that. Oh,
Yeah, I know the little
found
widget
it.
always gets hidden somewhere on my
I found
desktop.
it.
I'm like, where is that thing? Yeah. Awesome. Any other questions or comments? Anybody that wants to share about their experience in the class or anything along those lines, feel free to share now if you'd like.
I think I feel really glad that everyone else also struggled with the fetch API. Talking to Airtable, like I felt confident in my fetch skills, but talking to Airtable, man, that was rough.
Yes, yeah. And it's like every time you use a different API, it's like having to relearn a whole new set of structures of like, okay, how do they want things now? Or how do I have to reference something now to get the piece of data out of them that I want? It's an adventure. It's never boring, right?
It's interesting to me to see how the front end React group has been suffering with the API. That's a good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah.
For us here, yeah, the whole thing was a lot, especially in the beginning, like a lot of links and APIs. But I mean, I'm glad that we finally, we reached this point. So
Yeah, it's really fun to have both classes on the call together so that way you all can kind of see each other's side as far as like, oh, okay. So they had to completely structure what I was already using that Airtable has pre-built and, things of that variety. And like, oh, okay, they need the data structured this way so that way they can easily pull it and populate it for the user. So it's neat to be able to have you all kind of come together and see it. It was exciting for me to be able to watch that interaction. All right.
This is Chung here, Mary. I
Yeah.
was wondering for the React class, how many are using a because there are two as I recall, there are two approaches to the data storage, right? One is to during the session store it all in local storage, which has the fastest response. The other one is just the syncing with Airtable. So every request, every time the page refreshes, fetch request will be made to Airtable. Since Rickshaw mentioned that his data doesn't persist, I was wondering what, how many people are using local storage and then only sync when you need to fetch the whole list, right? And how many people are used to simultaneous data, data refreshing? If anybody can offer any insights. Thank you.
Yeah, or you can also do a show of hands, maybe like thumbs up for anybody who was just doing like the local storage, sort of updating within state, but not necessarily writing back and forth to Airtable, versus folks who were able to use that kind of connection to be able to have Airtable update regardless of what you were doing within your app. Like a thumbs up if local, and then clapping maybe if it's cyclical and going around. There you go.
I have both set up on mine, and I tried to remove the local storage because I'd like it to just populate from Airtable, but it broke when I tried to do that, so I left it. But I think it's doing something funny when I remove an item, the page jumps, like it blinks a little bit. So I think there's something going on there. I have to figure out, but I'm working on it.
Very cool. Yeah, so it looked like we had about 4 students respond that they were updating with Airtable, and then 2 that were just updating local storage, and then Daniela was doing both. Attack them all.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Airtable does slow down a little bit. I see the glitch on my project too. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Chang, when are you gonna present?
Oh, mine is tomorrow.
Tomorrow
Mine's
night.
tomorrow. Yeah, I have a
Awesome.
full stack React on front end. So yeah.
Cool.
So that's why I asked the question to see, to see how they handle the front end with refreshing.
Congratulations, everyone.
Yes,
Good
job
job.
well done. Round of applause. Go breathe a sigh of relief. Presentations for people who presented tonight. Presentations are over for you, so you're good to go. And just get yourself a cool beverage and prop your feet up tonight for sure. I'm gonna send you out with some graduation music here. But anyway, job well done, everybody. I'll stick around in case there are any other questions or anything. But thank you, presenters. Good luck for everybody presenting tomorrow. As you can see, it's a breeze to be able to present. So you'll be good to go. And we look forward to seeing the remainder of our presenters tomorrow night. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you. Good night.
Mary Alice, I was wondering if you
Good
can
job, guys.
stay for a
Thank
second.
you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
All right. Hi, welcome everybody to night 2 presentations for the Alpaca and Albatross classes. That's the Node and React classes that just wrapped up this week. We are excited to have our final students presenting on our final night of presentations. A great big congratulations to everybody. We know you've put in a lot of hard work and effort and energy into the class, so we're really excited to see what you built. And I think that covers everything. So without any further ado, Elena will be our first presenter tonight. Whenever you are set, Elena, feel free to unmute and screen share and walk us through your project. Everybody will have about 3 minutes roughly to be able to present. I'll keep an eye on the clock for you and let you know if you're getting close to time. And after Elena, it'll be Ming presenting. just to give you a heads up for the order that we're going in. All right, Elena, whenever you're set.
Hi, everyone. Start. So I'm starting my application. Just a moment. So this application consists of two pages, kind of pages. The first one is about. This page is about the application, what it does, and what other features I would like to add to it. It has a header with two links. When you click on the new list, the other page appears, and here you can add a new task that you would like to do. So sorting is still in progress, but this list is sorted by Airtable. So if you click on the refresh button, it's sorted. Also, all the tasks that I typed in the application, they appeared in the Airtable base. Now responsiveness. So this is for mobile view. Tablet, laptop. What I liked most of all in this when creating this application is designing, because I am a front-end person, and what I didn't like, that's Fetch API. It's overwhelming me at all. Overwhelm me a lot, I mean. I think that's it. If you have any questions, please ask.
Sorry, of course I get a frog in my throat right as you're wrapping up, Elena. Awesome job. Yeah, I love that background. It's really cool. If anybody has any questions or comments they'd like to share, feel free to either share in the chat so that Elena can take a look at your comments when she's done presenting. Or if you want to unmute and share anything, feel free to right now. Very well done. Good job.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I love the background. It feels like autumn too. Is the delete thing is working or?
Oh yeah, I didn't show it. Delete working when you
Okay.
click on the button. And the same, if you refresh the page, it's deleted, and the same is in the base.
Oh, okay. And that sort by, is it like, so when
sort by, I just started to do it, so that's like a menu, but I didn't make it work yet.
Okay, but
in
when
place, ready to roll, but not active. Okay.
Yeah, not active yet.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's a future, development. But your list, because when your list came from Airtable, it was already sorted. So,
yes, it is.
Oh, that's nice. Nice, good job.
Thank you.
I also like the effect for the navigation bar too, that it's sort of like quiet and in the background so you can focus on the content until you actually go to the nav bar, and then it makes it bold. I like that. I thought that was a great feature.
Yeah, and everything was made just with CSS, and it was really hard for me not to use Bootstrap or any other library.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. All right. Any other questions or comments out there? Okay. Thanks so much for presenting, Elena. There should be like a red widget somewhere on your screen to be able to stop sharing whenever you are ready. There you go. Perfect. And then Ming, you are our next presenter. So whenever you're set, feel free to unmute and share your screen and take it away.
Thank you, Mary Alice. I'll share my screen now. So this is my very basic and simple to-do list. Not appealing, but it's functioning, it's working. So we all know what does a to-do list do. So I just wanted something to highlight. So this app contains 2 pages. One is about this about page, and then the other one is the to-do list. And I went through the rubrics, and I guarantee that there are 5 required components plus about and navbar. And I believe I hit most of the bonus points that list here. And I want to emphasize some extra effort I did on this project. So when I first loading the app, there will be a loading indicator, which is a green heart. Yeah, but probably it will be hard to see. And then I added a empty input check. So when it's an empty input, you won't see a empty field with a delete button there. And also I did a duplicate input check. So if I already have a task there, I try to input the same thing, then I'll get an alert to say, oh, this task is already there. And also I actually, had a capitalization function and also a sorting function. And also a very simple unit task case. And I try to deploy it to a Firebase, and it is working right now. I know there's more things to do, but hopefully I'll get it done. So it comes to my simple to-do list page. This is the heart loading. So I added the sort. So sort by task name. And also by create time. And this is the add button, and this is the delete button. So say we have a task already, and then if I input the same thing, then I'll say task already exists. So it will stop from there. And if I add an empty thing, just add, then it will get a reminder says task can't be empty. Yeah, I think, and I'll try to make some responsive, but I'm just thinking right now I can only see the color change, really nothing that much to change, but yeah. So I enjoyed this class. I think it's very instructive. I got the idea of this React, but I feel the CSS part, front end design, really takes me more time. Yeah, I like this, and yeah, thank you for this Color Dream class and also the mentors. I incorporate a lot some ideas in my project during I got from the mentor sessions, and thank you for my classmates that we spent the time together in the past 4 months. Yeah, and that's all.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Bing. Yeah, I do like, especially the consideration you put in particular features that you wanted to add. I thought that was really cool as far as like sorting by created time versus sorting by task name, like those little touches as far as like, really thinking about what would the user need or what would be helpful. I thought that was really cool. Does anybody have any questions or comments they'd like to share with Ming? All right, well, be sure to check out all the accolades in the chat. Our next
Okay.
presenter is going to be Vinny. So Vinny, whenever you are set, feel free to take over. And don't forget to unmute. After Vinny will be Anna presenting. And then
Hi
after
everyone.
Anna will be Delak.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi. So my app, it was for the Nodes class. So it's a backend app, and I did the front end using React. So I have the sign-in page, which is pretty much what we did on the using the jobs API during the class. And after signing in, you're you're authenticated using a JWT token, and let's see. I'm getting all the events from a Mongo database, and it's a app used to schedule a pet sitting for pet sitters to schedule customers, and let's see. So like if you're out of town, you like to you like to keep track of your pets while the pet sitter is visiting. So you can use this app for that. So I set up a few users, a few examples here. So if you set up a new pet sitting event, so you can have a class user. All of this has validations on the database, and it should give you an error if you try to input invalid data, but I didn't set up the error on the front end. You can also add more pets. So this will show here, like it shows the length of the event, all the user information, and when the pet sitter goes to the house to take care of the pets, she'll start like a walk, and we'll like say how many times, like during the walk, how many times the pet did its business, if you check the food, if you check the water, if you give the pet medicine. You can also add some extra notes. And also here you have the user information. And then after it's done, the pet sitter will end the walk, and we'll create a link for it. So the link can be shared with the customer. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Does anyone have any questions?
If anybody has any questions or comments, feel free to share. Just be sure to unmute before you do. That was really awesome, Vinny. I like all the specifics that you thought of as far as like them doing their business and if they gave any medication and leaving a spot for notes. I think that was very helpful.
Oh, thank you.
Did you take any inspiration from anything? Because I know like Rover, I think, is one of the apps that pet sitters can use sometimes. Did you kind of get ideas from things that are already out there on the market that are kind of in the same line?
Yeah, so our pet sitter uses an app called Walkies. So I thought it would be cool to do something similar to the app she uses.
Very cool. Yeah, that's also a good practice technique as you're learning new technology to like mimic something that's already in existence or try and make like a copycat of a site or of an app. So that's always really good practice too. Very cool. Any other questions or comments anybody wants to share?
It's amazing to see you doing React and this together. That was like, how did you get that time? I wanted to do it and I was like, oh no, I can't do it in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, it was difficult. And also I'm gonna share the link with you guys if you want to play around with it.
Sure. Thank you.
Very cool.
Cool.
All right. If there aren't any other questions, then Anna will be our next presenter. Thank you, Vinny.
Thank you.
Now, whenever you're set, Anna, there you go. Oh, hold on. Let me unmute you. There we go. Ask to unmute.
Yeah, can you hear me well?
Yep, we can hear you. We can see you. Take it away.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. I want to present my to-do list project, and the idea behind the design is the copybook, like a notebook, because its background is imitating the craft paper, and the font style is imitating handwriting. It doesn't look too similar to handwriting, but I use the one of most commonly used fonts to avoid problem with downloading fonts to the user's website. So this app is connected to the Airtable, which has 3 tables: default, work, and travel, and every of which it has to-dos. I worked with 2 columns, title and priority, and those ugly numbers here. This was my idea to sort the lines by priority. So let me remove the part. So if I put here the high priority first, then it's sorting me the numbers first. So I expect this should have some kind of an object, mapping object, that word high means 1, and then it should be written in the database differently. But it was too long and too complicated for me. But I hope that somehow in the future I will do that. So yeah, I can do like checkboxes. I increased the size of checkboxes and of the bounds, and did these highlighted lines to improve visibility, and not to trying to put your mouse inside of the small teeny tiny checkbox. So this is comfortable for the user to put it in the big checkbox and so on. So this is just a design. It doesn't remove the lines this way, but I can do it, for example, like remove the line. Hey, it should work. Yeah, it worked fast. Now I deleted 2 lines, and I key here that they are not there. So now I have 6 lines here. Also, I can sort them alphabetically. And if I put the title with small letter, it puts them, for example, the newest first, it puts me this line at the top. And I put oldest first, and it's reverse sorting. And here in navigation bar, I can switch between those tables, and the name here is changing accordingly. Yeah, what else? Add, delete, sorting. Probably that's it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Anna. What was your favorite part, and what was your biggest challenge when you were working on the project and working throughout class?
My favorite part was finally to make API working, because it's satisfying when you see the lines appearing over here and see how it's working with the third-party system, and I love it. The hardest and challenging for me was changing the colors, because anything I select looks ugly to me, so it was hard.
I know it can be so tricky to find just the right, like, I don't know, look for what you're trying to go for. It can really be a challenge.
Yeah. You think about an idea, and when you put it into the website, you see that how ugly it is. Yeah.
I like the background that you did too. Is that just like one solid image that you have as the background? Because it's got like the sort of colored pencil watercolor kind of look on the bottom there.
Yeah, I made it in presentation thing. So I made the two things, like I found the picture of this watercolor and made this is a screenshot of one of the styles from PowerPoint, and altogether they do nice background. What I didn't show else, yeah. So this is the iPhone. So it looks like this. I know then the numbers do not work here yet. So yep, that's it.
Very cool. All right. Thanks so much for sharing, Anna. Great job. Did anybody have any questions or comments that they wanted to share with Anna? All right. Our next presenter then is going to be Dalak. Dalak, whenever you're set, you can unmute and screen share.
Okay. Hey, everyone. How's it going?
Good, good.
Let's see. So I'm in the Node Express class, and let me hide the floating controls. And I ended up going with the jobs list that we had created in class. And it still does all the same things as far as editing, pending to applied, update, and delete. You know, it has all the CRUD functions, and I wanted to have a jobs list that I could keep various statistics, just to keep track of how many places have I applied, what jobs, what positions, and just various other, you know, things that I might want to track at the end of the week, you know, like how active have I been on the job hunt, how successful, and also a way to organize what there was. So I found Chart.js, and it's a really great tool that works well with Express. So I set it up to where each field, as far as the status goes, has a spot here on this axis where it just keeps track of each, you know, like, so right now I've got one job that I've emailed. I've got 3 jobs that are pending, no take-home tests, no appointments set, and then another one for the job to see how many positions I've applied for in those jobs. So like here, you know, like Google 1 application, Facebook 1 application, ABC company, 2 applications. So just yeah, been trying to think of different fields, things that I'd want to track, and it's not too difficult, I guess, to, I mean, like, you know, after getting the data to after getting access to the data in the Chart.js, it's pretty easy to just add more and more charts, more fields. So yeah, I log on and say I want to add a job. Let's see, AAA, and then let's see, back in. And let's see, I'll just go with applied for that, and then add, and then it immediately updates the chart to whatever it was, whichever column it fits, and then, you know, it has the same log off, and also to register. Oh, that should have cleared. Okay, there. Why did that not clear? Huh. B is shorter than the minimum allowed. Okay. Email. Oh. let's see. Okay. All right. No, 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 no. And yeah, so this is as a new user, and we'll just add jobs from here. Ultimately, yeah, I definitely time has been a big issue for me. So yeah, I just haven't been able to like do all the things on my checklist that I wanted for this app. Ultimately, I also would like to connect to jobs API. I know there's some that are paid and then some that are free. So I was gonna just like connect to a free API and do search from within my web where I could do queries through here as a user and be able to connect to whether it's application or the company's link, getting different data like job description, job requirements, you know, all the things that would normally be on a job application, and incorporated in here where the data that I get from that and any of the jobs that I would interact with, I could keep track of here, and it'd be kind of a one-stop spot for it. So hopefully I can add all that soon. And
Awesome.
that's it. Yeah.
Good job, Delak. What was your favorite part of the project? Was there something in particular that interested you the most or that you enjoyed building?
I really enjoyed like discovering like how to do charts in here, and you know, just tracking data. I the doing authentication has been a bit, you know, it's challenging. There's a lot of layers, a lot of parts that go into it, but it's been great experience just like practicing on that, just because of how, you know, everything requires a password, or, you know, if it's not a username password, it's going to be like using a third-party authentication through Google or Facebook or something. So yeah, kind of exploring down that avenue has been really good also.
Awesome.
And yeah, I started with the API. This is another copy of this. I started with the API and I just ran out of time. I just started getting the data on the app, but yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to incorporate that soon.
Very cool. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Delak. Did anybody have any questions or comments that they wanted to share?
I just want to ask, like, this chart thing, are you using EJS or you're using the HTML? What?
Oh, this is through HTML.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Chart.js is it's pretty good. I went back and forth between doing it in HTML or doing it in its own file. And I've worked with React before, so but because I'm not, this is all done in the back end, I was running into issues about not being able to require import in some files, or so. I mean, I just like the connecting data from the front to the back was a little more challenging. So I ended up going the HTML route, and yeah, it all, you know, fits in divs. Some of the CSS, I've got it either inline or in a head tag. But overall it's pretty, the documentation is pretty good, and there's some great examples, some great blogs out there, tutorials that were really helpful, and there's a lot that you could do with it. You can customize them also.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Very cool. Other questions or comments at all out there? All right. Well, thanks again for sharing, Delak.
Thank you, Mary Alice. Thanks everyone.
All right, and our last presenter tonight is going to be Vadehi. So Vadehi, whenever you're set, feel free to share and unmute and you'll be ready to roll.
Sure. Okay, share. Are you able to see my screen?
Yep, we sure can.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so my project is Node.js backend, and I have used EJS for the front end, and it's backed with this whole thing is Bootstrap. And for authentication, I use Postman. So like, this is my repository, and this is all about my project. So let's start. And I got a favicon here. So I do, because that is just a, so first I'll try to show you how I register a new user. So you click on register, and if you try to say, let's put some, yes, and I already have Peter Gmail already exists. So as you go, you see it changes, and I'm putting a address. So and then when I try to register, because Peter already exists, it's going to show you saying duplicate email, and it pushes you back into the same page to register for a new value. Going back, because I've already registered, I'm going to log in, and here let's enter Peter. And before that, sorry about that. Before that, I want to show you if I try to like, when I'm not even logged in and I'm trying to access any of the routes here, any other route, like I want to go to the dashboard, is going to throw me back into this page saying, no, you cannot log, you need to log in before you view that page. So now I go to the login. So this is my dashboard here. It's very simple, and you can either check like all your events. If you want to add, you can add your event. The same thing is available here, and here it shows you, because you're Peter, you can see the name of the user, and you log on. You can do a sign out from here. I go to check my events. So I have already have these many events for Peter already there. We can edit any of these events. Suppose I want to edit this, I can go here and I say Peter's birthday. This is this, and you can change it to here, and you can change the date, and you can update. So now test has changed into Peter's birthday. You can also search saying, and here you get a notification saying Peter's birthday was updated, that event was updated. If I search for birthday and I search, all this is happening in backend, you find all the data here. Now if I try to search test, they'll say there are no events displayed. You go back here, you see all the events. And if it is a birthday, then they all are like orange color background. If it is wedding, it is pink background, and for any other event type, it is a blue background. So basically this is an event, the users can put in all their events here, kind of like a calendar, and they can come and they can edit or delete any of the events. So if I want to delete this event, I can just go and click on this, and it says the entry was deleted. If you want to add an event, you can either go here or you can do it from here. You can do it from here. Yes. So birthday is by default. So according in my code in the model, I want to show that. So this is my model, and here I have put birthday as a default value for the draw enum. That's why here it's already picking up birthday, but we can change it to any other we want to, and the date. So once these two things are required fields are there, then only this add event gets enabled. And then I'll do test and add event. Once I add and anything is created, it pushes you back, routes you back to the all events, and you get this message here. And you can see test was created here. And if I click on this icon, I go back to my dashboard. Is there anything else I'm trying to see? Yeah, and here you can do sign out. Then you say you are logged out. That's about it. Yeah. So any questions?
Awesome. Great job, Badehi. I especially like the little touches that you had as far as like having that confirmation that the event was created. Because there are so many times that I'm using an app and I'm like, did it do what I just submitted? And I have to like look to see if it did what I wanted it to. And so it was nice to have those like, you are logged out. Your event was created. I really like those little touches there. Did anybody have any questions or comments they wanted to share? All right, great job, Badehi. Thank you so much for sharing. And we do have one more presenter that's going to be presenting. She-Rose was able to join us. So she will be presenting next, which is our last presenter of the evening. So we're so glad that she was able to join us. And whenever you're set, She-Rose, then feel free to unmute and share your screen. If you need a little minute, then that's fine too.
Thank you. And I'm so sorry, y'all. I thought it started at 8. All right, give me a second. Share. Do you see my desktop?
Yep, it's coming through just fine.
Okay. All right, let me get. Okay. So I design-wise, what I struggled with was that the to-do list app seemed very primed for mobile. And so I decided for a desktop version for it to actually look like a desktop. So that's what that is here. It does the thing. And then it deletes it. My kid helped me with a little bit here. I was like, go put some stuff in there. Okay, so that is the list. It does go to Airtable and remove itself from Airtable when I delete. I did get that to work with a lot of help from Roy. For responsiveness, this is as small as I've let this desktop screen work. Anything smaller than that started looking awkward. And so what I did was I set media queries to change the background image once it's smaller than this. So let me see, the best way I think to show it would be, oh yeah, there we go. So I worked with these to make sure that I was fitting everything. So like the smallest screen is the Galaxy Fold. It's 280 across. So I made it look like a clipboard. So I thought that was cool. And let's see. The Nest Hub Max is a desktop screen. So that works, a typical desktop screen. And then it's like iPad Air, iPad Mini. One thing I noticed is these margins bothered me to no end, but I couldn't go on with my day if I kept staring at it. Like, so my media queries are terrible to read. And I think I'm gonna like fix this stuff later before I submit it. I'm gonna like, I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna do, but I definitely need to work on the responsiveness for some of these mid-sized screens. I'm not sure what else to show y'all. My code looks like everybody else's.
What was your favorite part and what was your biggest challenge, She-Rose?
I love the styling, the CSS. React itself was, I want to say, much easier to learn than I think JavaScript was last semester. So altogether, I think just having this app as like a simple project to work on overall was good. And I specifically enjoyed designing it. The hardest part was I wanted to keep adding different features. So one thing I did today was I tried to add a sort. I tried to add sorting to post and to delete, and broke it. So I was like, oh no, reverted that. I wanted to add a loading screen or like a little loading gadget, and I learned that like I couldn't, that React doesn't do well with the set timeout. So I didn't, I mean, I read a lot about it and I'm a little disappointed I couldn't do it, but I'm gonna keep that as like a personal challenge. I don't know if you can, how long you can see it, but try to refresh here. Did it show? It was like it's like a little piece of paper with a pen, like it's a sticker that shows that it's writing. So like the loading screen would look like it's writing your list.
Oh,
And
very
that would
cool.
be fun. Yeah, so I think like that was the hardest, is trying to figure out some of these features that we didn't really work on in class yet.
Yeah.
And yeah, the fetch API was hard. Learning how to talk to Airtable was definitely troublesome. And that's it.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, Shiros. Did anybody have any questions or comments they'd like to share?
Rick rolling, yeah.
Yep, yeah.
He'll
Awesome.
change my alarm too. Like he'll just download the song again, you know, put it back on my alarm on my phone after I delete it. He's
Oh,
11.
those kids.
Yeah.
Oh, those kids.
Well, thanks everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Shiros. Chung, thanks for joining. Did you want to go ahead and present now? You'll be our last presenter for the evening if you wanted to present tonight. If you're able to.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
yes.
perfect. All right, whenever you're set, then
Sorry.
feel free to go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, sorry to jump in
No,
late.
it's early for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I had a tough night and didn't wake up until now.
That's
So
okay. That's
okay,
okay.
let me share screen. Okay, let's see. This one. No, yeah. Can you see now?
Yep, we can see it.
This is my landing page, right? Let me see. Okay, all right. Yeah, so I'm gonna go in a sequence where it's convenient. So I'm gonna first present. I have this is my app, a web app for organizing my job applications. It's in the form of a table. So I call it a job hunt job organizers, right? First, I want to show you this is I have a custom 404 not found page made. This one is actually the one that's rendered from the backend. So if anybody happens to know my backend API URL and then trying to access it, it'll give it and trying to access at the root, it'll give it a access denied 404 page. And let's just say that someone's trying to access the auth page from the backend, and it'll give oh, it's slow. Let me see. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm on a mobile hotspot, so it acts real slow, right? So it give you give it another kind of a message says oops, the page you're looking for does not exist. Okay, so that's the backend like 404, and I have the 404 on the front end too, right? So if this is my front end page. This is actually the the homepage for user who has not been authorized. And then if let's just say if someone trying to access a wrong page, it gives the same error message. And you could tell that both are the same except when you look at the URL. One is for the front end, one is for the back end. So these are the 404 page for my app, custom 404 page. Now, let me see. Okay. Then, well, go to the homepage before login. It's easy, because it's customarily all you got to do is hit the site. What's that called? The brand icon, and it give you. It should. Let me see. It should take you. Oh, my bad. I was at the backend, so it should take me to the homepage before login. Now, the app has, as I as I get more comfortable with CSS as time goes by, I start straying away from using black solely for the scheme. And I think I did a decent job on the scheme here by the colors. So if I hit the sign up button here, it's going to take me to sign up interface. And if I hit login here, it's the login button. Right. So let me show you sign up first. So let's just say so all these has what's that called data validation on the back end. So I have to really go by the rules like the real in the real format of email. And then the password has it confirmed to some formats, which is like it's written on the bottom. But let me see. Yeah, so you can see it better. How can we jump to? Okay, the message will go away. I use because I have React on the front end. I use custom messages using the modals. It's very slow. I'm sorry. It's slow because it's the first time and because it's deployed on Heroku, and Heroku go to sleep if I don't use, there's no user using it. So it's waking up the backend right now, and because of my connectivity, it's no, my bad. So because this user is new and it doesn't have any data yet, so it says here that that you don't have any records, right? So in order for me to show you the records, I have to log out again and then log in as another user. So if I click just anywhere where there's a message, the message will go away. Let's see if I can.
You've got about a minute left, Chung.
Oh, my bad. We have time constraint. What's this? What is it? Huh? Oh, my email is wrong. Okay. Wow. So the app has sort, filter, and search functionalities. Sort is by chronological. So if I just hit the sort button, you can see that the data changes, and the filter button filters by categories. And then if I want to search, let's say APL. Oop. No records. Let's see. Patron, and that'll give me just that one single entry. And then if I want to add, so the job table will convert that a row into a form in order for me to, let's just say, to create a new job. So let's just say I want Yahoo and I'll create it. It should give me a new record, right? So there's a new row. And if I want to edit it, I just hit the edit button and that'll convert that row, specific row, and then row to that row for me to, let's just say on my, remote. And then apply, and then there's add and cancel button. The button converted to different buttons too. So when I add the records, it should add me the records. I believe my time is almost up. I didn't know that we have a time constraint, so but it's only reasonable. So I'll stop here for any questions.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, Chung. I really like that you have the form for being able to update it and add it as a part of your table already. I think that's a very unique feature. I feel like I don't see that terribly often. That's pretty cool. Does anybody have any questions or comments they'd like to share with Chung? All right. Well, thank you so much for presenting, Chung. I have to ask, Lori always asks this question whenever we do advanced class presentations. So I just have to put the question out there so that way she'll be satisfied that I asked everybody. For the React students, are you intending to use your to-do list app personally? And for the Node students, especially for those of you that did like the jobs API, are you going to be using that or using the final project that you built in your own personal life? Or do you have any plans to try and put it out there on an app store or anything like that? She always likes to ask. So feel free to share, anybody that wants to share what they're going to be doing with their final projects and or if they'll be using them personally.
So if I may go first, this is actually I made this app actually for the purpose of using it to organize my job applications, and I have the purpose from the beginning, and I tailored that to my my usage, like how I want to use it, and that's how I designed the app. And the info that you see, actually that user was myself, right? So the info you see in there, except for like the last 3 items, were all true applications that I recorded.
Very cool. That's always nice to be able to see like the hard work that you put in and then like actually get to like use it and enjoy it. And you always want to be discovering things about your projects too, as you're both user and creator. We've got some comments about adding it to portfolio. That's good. Yes, always be sure any projects that you do that you add to your portfolio. It's important for future employers to see how awesome you all are.
For my project, I would like to first move it to React because this one was like totally new for me. I had no idea about that EJS. We just learned like 2 days. In last 2 days, we learned whatever we learned about the EJS stuff, and it was so difficult to make the bootstrap work with EJS. And in the back end, you have all these securities that you have to put, the cross and rate limiter and all that. With that and bootstrap, they don't like it, So first thing, I'm going to move my stuff into React when I get time. But so much time constraint. I was like, I was like, let me just concentrate on my back end stuff, and I just ignored my front end CSS and everything. Like I took that liberty actually.
Yep.
But
That probably felt a little weird too, because you originally trained through React by day. So
yes,
it's probably like, I feel like I'm cheating on React.
yeah, that is why, after like, I was like, I already know React and I'm not doing it, but it was like, with the other job and all, it was so difficult. I was like, forget it. This is a quick, I'll just do it for now, but concentrate more on my backend protections and all the security stuff. And then probably that's why I want to move it to React.
Yeah.
And then use it. Yeah. Great.
Awesome. Anybody else want to share any feedback? We had a couple of comments in the chat about
Oh.
what your plans and intentions are with your final project. So it's exciting to see that they'll still be implemented in some way, shape, or form. All right. Okay, well, that concludes our presentations for the Alpaca and the Albatross classes. So congratulations, everybody. Big round of applause. You all have worked really hard, and it shows. Like these projects were very cool. Congratulations. If you have any questions about next steps or anything like that, you need us, feel free to reach out to us so that way we can cover any questions, get any answers to you that you need. Anybody that's moving on to the practicum will be starting October 17th, but keep an eye on Slack and email for the coming week, because I'll be sending out information about, group organizations, and you'll need to talk to each other about when you're going to have your regular weekly meetings and that kind of stuff. But congratulations again, everybody. Go celebrate, do something wonderful for yourself, because you all have done a really great job. We're really proud of you.